Hello and welcome back to Clicks on the Side. Today we're going to be doing a 300-point modern theme team based around the mystical keyword. There were a couple pieces I wanted to make a team with from the new Collector's Trove set, and the mystical keyword just happened to fit in, so that is what we're going to be working with today. We're going to be starting off with a piece from the Marvel's Deadpool and Weapon X set. We're going to be looking at super rare number 49, the Scarlet Witch. Really do like this figure, this sculpt. Haven't had a chance to use her really yet, so I figured this was the perfect chance to fit her in. We'll move her over to the side just a little bit. There we go. She's going to be at her 80-point click. Does have the Brotherhood and Mystics team abilities, Avengers, Brotherhood of Mutants, and mystical keywords. Has the trait Magneto's Daughter. Other characters with the Brotherhood team ability have Mystics. That will come in handy. She's going to start off with Running Shot, Penetrating Psychic Blast, ESD, and a special damage power, which is Chaos Magic. Probability control. When Scarlet Witch uses it, the target rolls her Chaos die in place of one of the standard dice in the roll. And we do have that here. You see she does have 3 sides that have her special mark on it. I'm sorry, 2 sides. 2 sides that have the special mark. That is a 6. Then you do have a 5, 2 1s, and a 2. So 50-50 odds to get a good number. Later on, she does switch to phasing teleport, and then finally does go to sidestep with some precision strike, super senses, and probability control. So yeah, very, very solid piece for 80 points, especially if you're able to keep her at range with that range of 4. Does have flight, so she can carry someone as well. So there is a better picture of all the faces of her Chaos die. The only thing I do not like about the Scarlet Witch is that there is no X-Men keyword. I would have loved it so that I could do a team with a better team with her and Magneto together. But as it stands, they only would fit together on a Brotherhood of Mutants theme team. So there you have it. We have the Scarlet Witch, and she actually will start the game equipped. We're paying 10 points to go ahead and equip her with the trick arrows. You can pick whatever trick arrows you'd like for your builds. For me, I'm going with my reliable, what I usually go with. We're going with the big arrow, the stun arrow from Masters of Time, and the Phantom Zone arrow from Masters of Time. Just what I decided to go with. If you want to use a different one, by all means. So if we're using that Scarlet Witch, I think you can guess who else is going to be joining this party. From the Collector's Trove set, we are looking at super rare number 31A, and you know it's gotta be the Juggernaut. Love this sculpt. I was a little surprised to see it in Collector's Trove. I figured we wouldn't get a new Juggernaut until Smash and Destroy, which I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we did get another Juggernaut in Smash and Destroy. But for now, we are going to settle with this amazing Juggernaut. Has the Brotherhoods of Mutants team ability, which means he also has Mystics, thanks to Scarlet Witch. Brotherhood of Mutants, Thunderbolts, X-Men, Brute, and mystical keywords. He comes in at 80 points and has improved movement through Elevated, and has the trait I Am the Juggernaut. Juggernaut can reduce penetrating damage, and he also has Safeguard Outwit. Has a special movement, a special attack, impervious, and a blank damage power with a 10, 12, 19, and 4 respectively. Later on does go into Charge, Quake, Invuln, and Battle Fury. And there you see his special movement is Ain't Nothing Can Beat Me. charge, but don't have speed. That's right. That is a 10 charge that can do a lot of damage. It's insane to have a charge of 10. And then there is the special damage power. I'm sorry, attack power. I am going to bleep things up. Giant Reach 2. Close. Make a close attack. After resolutions, deal 2 damage to each adjacent opposing character. If Juggernaut destroyed terrain this turn, the damage dealt is penetrating. That's right. So he can charge up 10, potentially breaking, destroying some any terrain this turn. Take a swing at your opponent, and even if he happens to miss, it will still do the 2 damage to anyone he is adjacent to at the time. Love, love, love that attack power. And then there you see Brotherhood. If you're not familiar, when this character hits an opposing character with an attack roll of a 10 through 12, after resolutions, remove an action token from this character. So he does not have willpower, but he does at least have a way to try to get rid of some of his action tokens. Then, of course, you have to equip him with the Crimson Gem, which also grants him improved movement through blocking terrain, super strength, and safeguards him from mind control. So now it makes it even easier to destroy terrain when doing that charge. Really do love this Juggernaut. I had to have it mainly because it had the Thunderbolts keyword. But the fact that he's only 80 points, has a 19 impervious that can reduce penetrating damage, cannot be outwit, cannot be mind controlled. Yeah, you're going to see this guy more. Definitely he's going to be in more of my team builds in the future with those keywords. Up next is one I haven't got to use very often, but you know what? She really does fit for this team build, and I am very happy to say, joining from the next phase set is rare number 39, Madison. I know. In what world does Madison belong on the same team as Juggernaut and the Scarlet Witch? Well, let's just take a look. Madison comes in at 20 points and has the Underworld team ability. So that's right, she is a taxi. Celebrity and mystical keywords. She does have 3 clicks with a special movement, a blank attack, willpower, and a special damage power. And she also has a trait, Wongers. Shape change. Once per game, when Madison would take damage, you may instead place Madison adjacent to a friendly character with the mystical keyword. If you do, turn Madison to click number 3. If that character is named Wong, you may turn her to click number 1 instead. Now, spoiler, we do not have Wong on this team. I know I love Wong, that super rare from next phase, but he is not going to be part of this build. Let's take a look at her specials. Her special movement is 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6. 1, an opponent places Madison up to 1 square away from her current square. 2 through 6, move Madison up to 2 squares. I really like that. I'm going to place, whenever I start the game, Madison will be adjacent to the Juggernaut, and hopefully she hits that 2 through 6, move up 2 squares. Now Juggernaut essentially has a charge of 12 if you get that to work out for you. Oh, that's not true, because if he's carried, he can't. You get the idea. You can move Juggernaut up that much more for free, since it's not a sidestep, but it's sidestep adjacent. Then you see the special damage power is Pact with Jake. Perplex. Madison may use it a second time each turn if she's adjacent to a friendly character with mystical keyword. So that's another reason why I do want her beside the Juggernaut. Juggernaut does have a 19 defense, but if you're able to perplex it up to a 21 defense in one turn, just from Madison alone, that just increases his survivability that much more and makes him a pain to try to take out. I really do like her Wonger's trait as well, and you'll see why here once I reveal the rest of the team. I feel like that's really going to work out. But joining this team, now from Wheels of Vengeance, we are going to common, number 5. We're bringing in Howard the Duck. I really didn't like this figure when it first came out. I thought it was a joke piece. You know what? This is the second team I found where he actually really works well with what is going on. Howard the Duck at 30 points is a team player. Has the Defenders, Animal, Celebrity, Martial Artist, Mystical, and Politician keywords. 30 points gets you 4 clicks, a range of 5 with 1 target, and improved targeting so he can shoot while adjacent. Has the trait Quack Shot, range combat expert, probability control, but only to target himself. So with that range combat expert, it is a 6 with stealth, precision strike, combat reflexes, and perplex. He is tiny size. Very, very nice there. So he can be carried around by anyone. Has sidestep later on with precision strike, combat reflexes, and outwit. I do like it very much. So he can get a shot off. He won't do much damage, but he is a decent tie-up piece if you get him in the right situation. And if you keep him from range, he has a +1 to his defense just because he's tiny sized. He also has a reason to be... you can give him Brotherhood as well. I don't think that gives him Mystics because the trait from Scarlet Witch was if they have Brotherhood and not if they can use. If I'm wrong on that, please do correct me, but that's how I'm understanding it. But Howard the Duck has another reason for being on this team as well, and that's going to become apparent when you see the last character on this build. We have 70 points left, and with those 70 points, we are bringing in, from the Collector's Trove, chase number 45, we're bringing in Agatha. When I saw this sculpt, it was definitely one I wanted to have. And then, she is my personal favorite chase from this set. You see they went all anime with her there with the tentacle purple cloud thingy holding up the Darkhold for her. There you go. There is Agatha. Agatha comes in at 70 points, has the Mystics team ability, Fantastic Four, Mystical, and past keywords. The fact that she has Fantastic Four was another reason I really wanted to have her. It is a weak keyword right now, but I have a feeling we're going to be seeing some Fantastic Four here in the next year or two. So definitely wanted to have her. 70 points, range of 4 with 2 targets. Starts off with Sidestep, Precision Strike, Super Senses, and a special damage power. Then turns into Running Shot, Pulse Wave, Super Senses, and Prob. Sidestep, Precision Strike, Super Senses, and Outwit. And then finishes with Running Shot, Pulse Wave, Super Senses, and Perplex. So yeah, her damage powers are a little all over the place. Does have a trait, Reading the Pages of Madness. During Force Construction, you may add up to 3 Darkhold one-shots to your sideline without paying the cost. These one-shots don't count against your sideline limit. If you do, you can't otherwise add one-shots to your sideline during Force Construction. So, 3 free one-shots is not a bad thing. It does limit you from having any others, though. But that is where the bonuses come into play. So, I have 3 of the 4 Darkhold one-shots. So those will be the three I'll pick. I do have Occult Retribution. Its effect is at the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character and an opposing character within 4 squares of each other. Deal both characters 1 penetrating damage. So that will come in handy if you have someone close to the Juggernaut, for example, that can't reduce penetrating damage. He can, so it won't hurt him one bit, but you can choose someone within 4 squares to do that 1 penetrating damage to. We will also be using Evil Entwinement. Its effect, at the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character and an opposing character within 4 squares of each other. If you do, until your next turn, when either of those characters move, after resolutions, deal that character 2 unavoidable damage. Now, while that does tie up one of your pieces, it will cripple one of theirs unless they want to go ahead and give them that 2 unavoidable damage. Which, with this team, I feel like you can't afford to give those 2 clicks up. And that leads me to, in my opinion, the MVP of this build, and that is Soul Siphon. And its effect, friendly characters can use regeneration as free. When they do, for each click healed, deal another friendly character 1 unavoidable damage. So yes, the unavoidable damage is not ideal. But my idea behind this is, if they happen to get through on the Juggernaut, knock him down a few clicks, or if they do get a hold of Agatha, activate the Soul Siphon to give Juggernaut or Agatha or who have you the regen, and then you have the perfect fodder in Howard the Duck and in Madison to go ahead and use that to give the unavoidable damage to, especially Madison. Why especially Madison? Because of her trait Wongers. Once per game when Madison would take damage, you may instead place Madison adjacent to a friendly character with the mystical keyword. So if it doesn't say by an attack, it just says takes damage. So let's say you want to try to get 3 clicks back on Juggernaut. He regens. He only gets a 2. Oh, darn. So I'll give those 2 unavoidable to Madison. She's now on click number 3. Well, it's still free to regen, so you know what? I can get another click to Scarlet Witch. Let's add 1 to her. Roll regen. And now you can go ahead and give that last unavoidable damage to Madison, but instead use her trait to turn her to click 3 again. Yeah. Yep, I do like that. It's kind of a take on Mastermind, but in a way that I just love. And then she has her perplex throughout. You know what? If she had more keywords, you would see her on more teams. Back to Agatha, because she is not done yet. She has the trait, and who was behind it all? Shape change. At the beginning of your turn, Agatha may generate an illusion marker into a square within range and line of fire, max 3. Free. Place Agatha into a square within 6 squares with an illusion marker. If you do, heal her 1 click and then remove an illusion marker from the game. I really do appreciate that. Just being able to pop around anywhere within 6 squares. Does not say anything about line of fire. Does have that special damage power as well. Centuries old magic. Outwit, perplex, probability control. When Agatha uses them, she may count squares of range and line of fire from an illusion marker. That's right. So you can have her spread out between 18 squares, since they're all could be within 6 squares of each other. You could essentially have Outwit, Perplex, and Prob almost anywhere on the map. I really, really do like this piece. She can do so much. 70 points is a little expensive for just 5 clicks. but very, very strong, especially since you get the 3 one-shots as well. But we're not quite done. We did have 10 points left over, so I decided to go ahead and add the universal weapon to Agatha as well. That way she can, at the beginning of your turn, choose a standard attack power to use until your next turn. So that way she can start off with Penetrating Psychic Blast, for example, or if she's needing a little bit extra healing, you can give her Steel Energy. Energy Explosion, if that's what you're wanting to go with. Just really gives more versatility to her with that range of 4 and 2 targets. But yeah, that is my take on a 300-point modern theme team with the mystical keyword. I really wanted to do a build with Juggernaut. I wanted to do a build with Agatha. And it just so happened that I was able to make a good build. I feel a good build work with both. But let me know what you think. If you like this team, how you think this team will do, if there's any changes you would make to it. Look forward to hearing from you, and thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this has been Clicks on the Side.